want to show you a way to go through and find a geologic map for your project. So this can be one of the trickier parts just because there's not like one type of geologic map like we have the topo maps, because the USGS has one whole set of 7.5-minute topo maps. But the geologic maps really depend on the location, on who's making it, that kind of stuff. But I really think this National Geologic Map database is a whole lot easier than just Googling. All right, so you've got that link and it takes you here. There's a bunch of different ways that you can look through it, but I like the map viewer. This is pretty new. It's really exciting. And so you can see it's opening now. And so you can see there's a lot of maps overlaying on it already. So you're going to find where your house is. So my house that I chose is in Cairo, Illinois. And yes, it's pronounced Cairo and not Cairo. It's just how it is. All right, so now you can see there's a handful of maps here for me. Now, I want to make sure that my house is on there. I also want a pretty, I want to make sure it's a fairly detailed map. All right, so you can see there's lots of different maps that I could use here. But I want to make sure that my map is included where my house is, and the house itself is not on here, but it's on just off of Washington Avenue, so it's right around there. And you could put the exact address in, and it'll pull up literally to that exact address, which is pretty cool. All right, so when I click in there, it tells me all of the maps that are included. Now, there may be more maps that's really helpful than just one. One of the things I want to be careful about is not going too old, right? There might be some really good information here about, the area and about the geology from this 1912 map. But let's be honest, that was a long time ago, right? So I'm going to try to find a fairly recent one. I'm also going to find one that's not really big, because you can see I can get the entire US, but that's not really what I want. So for me, my best bet, since my house is actually in it, it's kind of tough because I'm over a couple of them, is probably this bedrock geology of the Cairo Quadrangle. All right, and you can click on it and it'll show you that's actually it laid down right there, which is pretty cool. I can also download it. I can also go to the web page, which is pretty cool. So if you hit download, it takes you to this page. This is the product page. And if you're citing your map, this is the link you want to give me. All right, and it's really nice here because now you can download it in a couple of different versions. Notice here you actually have 2 sheets. They're both pretty important. You're going to want to make sure you get both of those sheets on there. But I kind of like and so when you download it, you actually have to download each sheet separately. But this is my map that I am going to choose. And if I look, since my house was right on Washington Avenue, it's right about where this little weird corner is. So I can tell that that is in this QCC. Well, what is that? We don't actually have too many, we don't have just a whole lot of material here, but if you look, we have the QCC. That is clayey deposits. Which means that could be quick clay in the event of an earthquake there. All right. And so that's how I would find my geologic map.